I've had a lot of people ask me over the years, and especially more recently with the YouTube channel growth, about how to get your first Christmas light customers. Now, most of you who watch this channel are window cleaners, and so you already have a list of customers who you've serviced. And that's the easiest way to start. If you've already got 100 customers, you're not going to get 100 of them to book Christmas lights, but you might get somewhere from 20 to 30 of them to at least let you give them a quote. And then from that, maybe half of them will actually want to book your service. So if you can get an extra 10 to 15 customers just because you send your existing list of customers a text or an email or a phone call or do all three, but usually 20% of your existing customer base will actually book the additional service for Christmas lights. So with that said, maybe you don't have a lot of customers or you've already pitched it to your existing customer base and you need to know how else to get Christmas light customers. And the very first thing that I did to get Christmas light customers was these Bandit signs. You can actually get them from Using Marketing. I'll make sure there's a link in my description. I've done a couple other videos about how to do marketing with different yard signs. And there's a couple different strategies. There's the one where it's more generic like this, where it doesn't have your company information on there. This is more the Bandit side method where they're banned in a lot of towns and cities and you can get fines and it's just kind of considered like littering. So some people don't like it, so it doesn't really help your brand. So because that's the case, it's not always the best thing to have your branding information on the sign. So I even use a different number than my regular number when I'm doing the Bandit signs. Now, the other strategy would be to do something branded and you actually put it on the lawn of a house that you've decorated. That can go a really long way, especially since with Christmas lights, you want to have really high route density. You want to do as many houses in a neighborhood as you possibly can. You can actually encourage your customers to leave their signs in their front yard by giving them some type of a referral fee, 5% off just to leave it up there, plus an extra $25 or $50 for every customer who actually gets their lights installed in their neighborhood from your sign. There's a lot of things you can do, a lot of wiggle room there, but using signs is a really easy way to get some customers in the door. Now, with that said, some places it is illegal and maybe you're already on the local radar. And if you put up a sign, you're going to get fined $500 per sign per day or something crazy. If you're afraid of using signs or you don't want to use signs, there's plenty of other reasons. There's plenty of other ways to get customers as well. Now, this obviously is a door hanger for window cleaning and not for Christmas lights, but you can get a door hanger for Christmas lights. I just don't have any in stock on my truck right now. So I don't have a demo to show you, but door hangers are fantastic for getting Christmas light customers. We like to put them on the surrounding houses of every neighborhood that we're working in. Whether it's just the 5 that are closest, the houses that see every day the lit up home, or the whole block. If it's a place we want to be, maybe we have somebody who's working with us who can just go ahead and hit the whole neighborhood while we're installing the lights. It just depends how much time we have and what kind of a crunch we're in. We try to do specific neighborhoods as many times as we can. I'll talk about the responses we get after I talk about postcards. The other thing to do would be postcards. I like to do postcards. Postcards are one of my favorite ways. The other marketing method I really like is the postcards like we're talking about. And it's upside down. And these are my favorite because they're the less time consuming. Like it takes a little bit of money to set up a direct mail campaign and they can be really expensive. Like it's over 25 cents per flyer to go through the mail now with EDDM. And it's kind of like a scatter shot, like shotgun. You hit everything. You can't just be really selective with, I want this neighborhood, but not that. You got a little bit of leeway with the routes and you can sort them by, income, household income and all that. But what I like about it is you can take up to 5,000 postcards at one time, drop them off at the post office and bam, you hit all those houses all at once. Door hangers are a lot cheaper. You could put a lot of them out still, but it takes a lot of time. I average around 100 per hour if I'm doing it myself. So that's like 50 hours that I save by taking them to the post office instead. So with that said, the response rate, I usually start with postcards and door hangers kind of simultaneously, a big batch of them in October. And it just kind of varies from year to year how busy I am. I like to hit it sometime like near the end of the first week, by the end of the second week of October. This year I'm a little bit slow just because I've been so busy trying to get things going with other stuff, right? It just heads everywhere. But with that said, by the end, before the third week of October is over, I definitely will have my first 5,000 flyers out. Then I'll hit another batch by around November 1st. I think this year, the Monday is going to be on the 3rd. So that will probably be the day that I drop them off at the post office. Hopefully they get out there on Tuesday. best day for postcards to hit the mailboxes is either Tuesday or Thursday, but you just kind of got to take what you get sometimes. So I get about, in general, for postcards and flyers across the board, window cleaning and everything else included, about one response for every 200 flyers. At least that's what I calculate with. Oftentimes it's better than that. For your first time, you shouldn't expect much more. And then October, Christmas lights, I don't always get that big of a response right away. It might be one call for every 3 or 4, even 500 flyers, just depending on, did you hit at the right time? Was the weather good? There's so many factors that can go into it. So for the sake of averages, I go with one response for every 200. Christmas lights, the response rate is not as important as the close rate. You might get 10 leads, and for every 10 leads, your close rate is going to be a lot lower than it is with window cleaning. I think the national average is close to 20%. So 2 jobs out of every 10 leads. Last year, I did a big postcard campaign and got even lower close rate. And it was just bad targeting. I hit the wrong neighborhoods. Demographics change. And so I set of neighborhoods that was good in the past, but this time just wasn't as good. So sometimes you got to take a risk with it. Keep that in mind. If you don't have a lot of extra capital, then don't waste all your money on postcards, because there's a lot of trial and error that can go into it. Go for the door hangers if you have more time than you do money. So with that said, a lot of times we get busy, and each year will be busier than the previous year. So you've got to find marketing methods that take less time. So after that, you could do Google ads. Again, I'm not a big fan of Google ads. Google can change the numbers on you real quick. If it gets really competitive, they could be looking for Christmas trees or for actually buying their own Christmas lights, and you come up. So you have to be careful with the negative keywords. It's kind of hard to isolate some of those. So you get a lot of bad calls. So if you're paying per click or paying per call, it can come back to bite you. Google LSA is great, but again, same issue. Google can flip the script on you. They get 10 other people who want to do Christmas lights, goes to the highest bidder. Somebody else wants to pay $300 to get that customer because they look at the lifetime value over the next 5 to 10 years. They're going to be able to pay a lot more. You're trying to bootstrap things, so you don't want to pay more. So dabble with it, try it. Facebook or Meta is a little bit better than Google, but you really have to stand out with a solid video, some way to get the attention. You do what everybody else is doing, you're going to get the same results of everybody else, and it's not going to be great. So find something unique and creative that you can do on Facebook to stick out a little bit more, and it'll go a lot further. But it is one of those things where you can turn on the switch, maybe find somebody who can manage your ads for you so it's less time intensive. And those are kind of generally the ones that I recommend. So I have been dabbling with Facebook a little bit. I'll probably offsource it next year to somebody else, agency, who can run it for me so I don't have to think about it. I already have all my inbound stuff automated. So Jill's office is who I use. They answer the phone calls wherever the leads are coming from, and they'll book an appointment. A lot of times for Christmas lights, I prefer to set it up for an in-person consultation because I really want to meet the customer and let them see the products that I'm using, show them that what I'm using is going to be better than what some of the other guys down the road. I can't speak to what they're using or why their price is cheaper all the time, but what I can affirm to them is that my products are high quality and that we will take care of anything that comes up. And we've covered the whole thing from A to Z. So if you have another marketing tactic you like to use, besides referrals, obviously referrals are great. Get referrals as much as you can. Ask people to give their friends. Actually, the last thing to recommend is these right here are just kind of generic. These are my old ones. I need to get new ones again with updated, but it's plastic. That's why I'm showing it to you. It's made out of plastic. It's really clean, really concise. It's a little bit shiny. They don't go bad if you get water on them or bleach. Like, they'll withstand anything. So that's why I like them. But on top of that, you put like Christmas lights, $25 is nothing. So put $50 off right here. I haven't custom created one for Christmas lights, but I do have on here listed all my different services, including Christmas lights. So you put a $50 value on it, make it into a little bit of a gift card. You can buy them from Window Cleaning Resource, or you can I got these from Vistaprint. I just had to design everything from scratch. But you do a gift card type of thing, give that to your customers, and they'll feel like they're actually helping their friends out. I mean, they're giving them $50 value. And so when they hand that to their friends, they're more likely to hand it to their friends, and their friends are the ones who are more likely to book with you than anybody else on the planet. The referrals, the word of mouth marketing is the biggest ticket for Christmas lights. You have a much significantly higher close rate with those, and people already understand the price. As long as you started right, they're not going to think that you're going to do it for half price. They already have an idea. Oh, it's about $500 or it's about $1,000 or we pay X amount. It's going to set their expectations to be in line with what you offer. So with that said, those are my favorites. The other thing you can do is pay per lead services like Angi, which used to be Home Advisor, which used to be Service Magic. It goes way back, right? There's Yelp, which I don't like very much, but some of those things, they're worth experimenting for Christmas lights. And sometimes they work really well, other times not as well. So it just depends on you, where you're at, how you respond. Are you quick to respond? Are you able to answer the phone call right away and get on it, or send them a text message, email instantly with the price? If that's the case, then the pay per lead things make a little more sense, because if you're paying $25, $50 for a lead with Christmas lights, it makes a lot of sense, because if you might get average $1,000 per customer, hey, if you have to spend $100, $200 to land them for the first year, they're going to stick with you for another 5 years or more. So it's worth the investment. So don't be afraid to spend a little bit extra. For instance, if you do a postcard campaign, let's say it costs you $3,500 to put out 10,000 postcards over the course of a couple of weeks, you're probably going to get 10, 20 customers. But even if you got 10 customers at $1,000 a piece, $10,000 for $3,500, not a bad trade-off. Next year, you get those customers for free. Plus, they'll bring friends. If you have any other questions, any comments, other suggestions, go ahead and put it below. I'll do everything I can to help you. I'll drop a link for some of the different services that I use. Like I use Jobber to schedule everything and to do all my bidding for Christmas lights in particular. And also I use Uzi Marketing to get my Bandit signs. They also do door hangers and everything else. And then I'll drop a link as well for Christmas lights. There's an online store that I found that does a really good deal if you buy 500 lights at a time. I really love the C9 Minleon bulbs. Sunwarm White is my customer's favorite. When I show them all the different lights, it's by far the most popular one that I install. And they sell those for, I think it's between $300 and $350 for a case of 500 bulbs. That's pretty good. So all that said, I'll see you guys in the next video.